UICA, whose mission, I think, is to foster the work of younger artists, is particularly important in a community like Grand Rapids because it's trying to foster the artists who will become the stars of tomorrow.
It is the laboratories like UICA that allow for new artists to emerge. And if we don't have new artists to emerge, then what will be next?
An institution like UICA is the R&D of the arts. And what's really important to keep in mind is that progress happens in everything. That includes medicine, that includes science, that also includes the arts. So without someone like UICA who's ready to take on what's happening right now, then we will always live in the past.
Institutions like the UICA or the Museum of Contemporary where I work, I think are critical because it's a meeting point where children, where school-age students, where college kids, where adults can come not only to learn but really to engage more deeply with the art of our time.
Within the ecosystem of artistic venues, there is a real necessity for places like the UICA. Who really benefits is the community that that establishment is in. So in a place like Grand Rapids, people don't need to go to New York or Berlin to see my work. It comes to them. And it's really a way of seeing ideas that are happening outside of your community coming right to you.
We all remember that when we were students, we felt like the world was not enough, that the city we were living was not providing us with the stimuli we wanted. It was always better somewhere else. So having institutions like the UICA allows people to feel that they're living in a city that is not disjointed from the rest of the developments and what's happening in the world.
Every city that wants to have a serious sense of itself as a creative center needs to have a serious contemporary art institution.
In the US, we don't have so many of those kinds of institutions, and yet those institutions really have a great role to play.
Different philanthropists have different missions, but one thing that's generally common is that they want to affect change. And it's no exaggeration to really think about contemporary art and art making really as being about, by definition, being about change.
As a culture that is based on the premise of freedom and individuality, I think it behooves us to promote and support institutions that are allowing people to be creative and to think outside the box.